in restaurants. And this is a whole ecosystem. Food suppliers, local confectionery, we want local bolinjas, we want local bibinka, we want local dodol, which we don't make into in our hotels, but we take it from local homes to encourage the people. So it's a big world out there. Liquor stores, bars and pubs, local fruits, produce, local beverages, kiosks, all these are going to take shape. When we make jobs in hotels or we make more hotels, their airlines is going to grow because more the hotels, more the flights into Goa. Railways are going to have more jobs. You know, roadways are going to have more jobs. There'll be more taxis. Our own taxi boys and men are going to have a living for, just driving these taxis. Mechanics, drivers, car, bike rentals, all these are going to be big thing as we go on in tourism, and all of you have a stake in this. So don't lose heart, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You know, it's a very colorful world when it comes to hotels, you know. And then you, of course, if you are into handicrafts, you are an interior designer, you're going to design a hotel room, you know. If you are into medical, you know, as a hotel general manager, today the engineer reports into me. Today a spa Ayurveda doctor reports into me. So it's a beautiful world out there when it comes to hospitality, and we have hospitality in us as Indians, you know. Let me stop here and let me explain to you why we have the hospitality in us. Because we have gone to some of the best schools. We speak good English. In China, they don't speak good English. If you go to Singapore, they don't speak good English. It's like can la, yes la, no la. They have the hospitality angle with them, but they don't speak good English. We have the hospitality. You know, when a guest comes to your house, how excited are you? You know, because that is our culture. Atithi Deva Bhav. You know, so it comes naturally to us. Hospitality. You don't have to go to any college. Whereas if you go to European countries, if you go to USA, they are very cold. There is no hospitality. They don't know what is hospitality, you know. So we have all the things. We have the warm hospitality with us. We have great speaking boys and girls and English with us. So we are going to do very well as Goa or as India when it comes to hospitality. The service sector is growing very fast, and there's a lot for you there, you know. So I take you to the next slide. What is hotels? Hotels is, it's a very simple thing. It's not like medicine. It's not like engineering. You don't have to break your head on maths. You don't have to break your head on something. Hotels is, you know, you must be wondering, यहाँ पे क्या होता है? What happens in a hotel? It's simple. It's what your mother does every day. You know, it's about cooking. You know, if you think that you have a knack for cooking, you can be a great chef. If you think that you have a knack for keeping the house in order, if you can create something in your house, you know, a nice flower arrangement, you know, that's what you have a skill. You are skilled already to be in a hotel. Hosting guests at home. How excited we are as Indians, as Goans, when some of our relations come to our house. We want to give them a glass of water. We want to give them pedas. We want to do this. That comes naturally to us. It is not taught to in any colleges, and hence, you know, it makes us so simple. It's a very fantastic world out there. Gardening and so on. So nothing, I want to put in a nutshell, hotel is a day-to-day, it's a way of life, what we do every day. And hence, if you join this industry, you have a bright future. Let me just touch on some departments. You know, chef. Today, I think of, you know, recruiting a chef. The guy is so expensive. You know, he tells me, okay, I want 2 lakhs a month or 1 lakh a month, because he's already a chef or a master chef. Today, students want to be, you know, they're watching all this Australia chef, this chef, that chef. They want to become chef because it's a lovely world. You know, it's a God-given technique. If you think that you have it in you, you can make a great curry, you can make a great pulao, you have a biryani, you're already there. You know, all you have to do is, you're actually a cook at home, but when it comes to the hotels, you have the talent, you can make money. You have celebrity chefs today, you know, and in particular, baking and confectionery, when it comes to that. If you think you have fine arts, you can draw very well, you can make colorful cakes, you know, there's a whole lot of money you can earn from there. And all these, you know, I'll come later and tell you that this can be taught into colleges. It can be done after 10th standard. It can be done after 12th standard, whenever you want. But if you think that you have a knack for this, you can join hotels. Baking and confectionery is big. The big bakers, the big confectionery artists is huge money. F&B service, you know, some of our boys in Goa have done so well in the world, going on the ships, earning that money, you know, because they have been F&Bs into food and beverage services. Moreover, you get huge tips when you go on the cruise liners. You know, all these things are all the courses for you after SSC. Everything is taught to you here in Goa, because our boys all our men are doing really well out in the world there. Bartending, for example, which is part of the F&B service. Today, you know, there are celebrity bartenders which charge you lakh and a half a day just to be a bartender. So, you know, it's sometimes, you know, you feel that, you know, okay, if I become an engineer or a doctor, or, you know, you get 1.5 lakh or 2 lakhs in a month probably, but here you can earn in a day, and that's the beauty of it. So don't discount hospitality. It's a big thing. You know, it's not about, you know, just if you think that you have it in you, please come and join it. Front office, which is a white collar job, you know, communication is what we teach you there, how to carry yourself. Today, people, the banks want front office people, hospitals want front office people. I know people who have done hotel management have joined some of the top banks in the world, you know, because they are from the hotel industry, because the hotel industry is what is preferred by these banks, because simply because they have the communication skill. Housekeeping, if you think that you have a knack to keep the house in order, you know, if you have an eye for detail, if you can create a nice room of interior designing, you think that you can make a great florist, and that's the job for you. Some of our best general managers are from housekeeping background. You know, and another thing about hotels, you know, you can become a general manager even if you're a dishwasher, because every year or every 2 years you keep on growing. Some of the finest general managers today were dishwashers, were housekeepers, were chefs. So it's beautiful world, because it keeps you, it's not the same monotonous job that you're doing every day. And when you become a general manager, it's a colorful world again. You're meeting an Amitabh Bachchan. You know, you get to eat what you want. You will never ever go hungry if you're working in a hotel. You feel like eating a biryani today, you eat a biryani. You feel like eating a chicken makhni today, you eat a chicken makhni. You want to go and have a nice, comfortable life and sleep on the bed, you can do and go and sleep in the bed for that night. The good part is that for doing all this you get paid, and I think that makes hotels very, very interesting. Engineering, if you have in hotels, if you're a plumber, if you're a carpenter, you have any technique, I think you should just take up a hotel job, because from a plumber or an engineer, I've seen people becoming chief engineers, and that's the beauty again, because you get a lot of growth, a lot of money. Hairstylist, beautician, if you're a swimmer, you know, and you think that, you know, you can swim very well, gym trainer, lifeguard, all these are jobs, and these are some of the areas that I've touched, because I want to just excite you and encourage you to come and join hotels and the hospitality world. Now I will come to the colleges that we have. You know, you must have heard these names: IHM Goa, ITI Goa, Goa University, Agnel Institute, Don Bosco, NIHM, Gastro Academy. Now these are all colleges that offer technical courses. I'm not even talking about, you know, these are colleges after 12th. These are colleges that where you can walk into and say that what's in for me, you know, and they will offer all these courses for you. You know, Go ITI offers, for example, a 1-year food production course, a 1-year food and beverage service assistant course, a 1-year housekeeping course, a 1-year front office course. Gesto is surprisingly offering a 3-year diploma course in hotel management after SSC, which is one of its kind. Normally you don't get, you know, 3-year diploma course. Normally you do it after 12th. But Gesto, which is in Porvorim, offers you this. If you think that you have done your 10th and you want to join this course, you must. Diploma in hotel management, there is also for 1 year. Craft certification in food production, certification in food production for 6 months, certification in bakery for 6 months, certification in front office and housekeeping for 6 months, certification in F&B service for 6 months. Wonderful courses from 6 months, 1 year to 3 years. So you have a plethora, you know, of courses, and you can pick and choose what you want according to your convenience. Look at this at Father Agnel. You have 3 months courses, you know, just as a starter. You can do this course for 3 months and then come and join a hotel at an entry level. Certificate course in food production, certificate course in bakery and patisserie, certificate course in housekeeping, certificate course in skilled bartending. You know, I was just talking about bartending, and my colleague Sarah here will show you some of the best videos today. You know, how the world out there, when you're a skilled bartender, and what a colorful world it is, you know, to be in this industry. And if you think that you're a juggler, you're a flairer, and you have a little knack of doing all these things, you can really skill yourself and get out in that world and make a name for yourself. And finally, you have an institute which again offers you a certificate course in skilled bartending. Now, there is something called an apprentice program, which is by the government of India. Okay, this is a very good course, and it again is from 6 months to 2 years. You know, the apprentice program is a special program which is done at a national level, and it has lots of benefits. You know, you have a baker and confectionery, you have an apprentice in food production, an apprentice in food and beverage service, receptionist, front office assistant, housekeeper, hair and skin carer, horticulture assistant. Horticulture is a big thing. Landscaping is big thing today. You know, you might think that, you know, you have to grow some plants. You have huge money out there. You can be a horticulture manager, and you know, you can earn a fortune. From a gardener, I know people who have become horticulture managers. They are earning like 1.5 to 2 lakhs a month, you know. So friends, there's a lot for you. Secretarial assistant, all these are listed under the apprentice programs. Go for it and you will do well in life. Now, I come to this after 12th courses. You know, there's a word of caution here. Today, if you have passed your 12th, okay, and you want to join this course which is called the hotel management course, and a lot of people do this mistake, you know, that, you know, hey, listen, I want to join the hotel management course, you know, and I say, no, you can't join it now, because you have to, when you're in the 11th or in the 12th, you have to watch out for the month of January. The form comes in the month of January. If you miss that form in the month of January, then you miss 1 year, then you're wasting 1 year. So boys and girls, if you're in the 11th or in the 12th, by December, watch out for this form, because the entrance exam happens somewhere in March, sometimes somewhere in April, so it depends. But watch out, fill out this form, don't wait for the last minute and then say that, okay, I want to get into hotel management. It is not going to happen. A lot of boys and girls waste a year. So if you're in 12th, grab the form in the month of January, watch out for the site, and it's a fantastic 3-year course. It's a BSc course, and you have so many colleges. You see, you have 74 IHM colleges across India, you know, and that is huge. You have 12,000 seats all over India. You have 422 seats just in Goa. So there is a lot out there, you know, so don't discourage yourself. Go and grab the opportunity and go for it. It's a 3-year degree course. It's a BSc in hotel management. And this is world recognized. You know, you go anywhere, you know, people have become CEOs of the company with this degree, and have done really well for themselves. Managing directors, owning companies, owning hotels, they have done so well after doing the hotel management, and they're really shining all over the world. If you think that you have missed out on the opportunity of the government, you know, you still have private colleges. You have Institute of Hotel Management, Aurangabad, but this is done by Ataj. Then you have VM Salgaonkar Institute of International Hospital Education in our own state of Goa, which is a fantastic college. You know, I've been there, you know, state-of-art infrastructure, I would say world-renowned, world-class. International Institute of Hotel Management, Goa, again, is a fantastic college. It is built on a huge campus, and I think we are really lucky to have this. Christ University and Welcome Group Graduate School of Hotel Administration, Manipal. These are some of the private colleges. Finally, my friends, this is what the news today is. You know why hospitality industry? Because the highest placement happens in hospitality management. Don't lose this opportunity. Go for it. Whilst the CMO will give you an address to you know, just get back and ask more queries. I leave you with my address, which is vincent.ramos@tajhotels.com. I wish you all the best, and thank you for listening to me. I hand over now to Mr. Kirit, to Poonam. Thank you, Poonam.
Thank you, Mr. Vincent, for sharing your excitement, and that from a farmer to a doctor is a part of the hospitality industry. Thank you for enlightening us with all the opportunities available and where and how to grab them. Thank you so much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker for this evening and his brand is a name known to the majority of the Goans. The pioneers in the supermarket culture in Goa. Today they have 10 supermarkets across the state. The USP of Maxons is that they also the pioneers in bringing international gourmet food available in the supermarkets. Folks, we bring before you a very seasoned, experienced, and a successful founder and CEO of Maxon Supercenter in Goa, Mr. Kirit Maganlal. Mr. Maganlal has bagged a lot of laurels. He has been awarded the Businessman of the Year by Business Goa Media. He is the recipient of FIFI Coca-Cola Golden Spoons Award. Awarded the Innovative Retail Concept of the Year at the Lokmat Corporate Excellence Awards. The Trendsetters Honors Award for Retail by the Indian Express Group at the Food and Hospitality Fair in 2017. He has also been awarded as the Goa State Brand Leadership Award in 2018, and the list is really long. Mr. Maganlal is a socially active individual and has held several positions. He has been the chairman of CII, president of TTAG, past honorary secretary of the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and a board member of Institute Management Committee of the ITI, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure and confident that we all are going to get a lot of valuable inputs on the retail industry for our future. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting before you Mr. Kirit Maganlal.
Thank you, Poonam. And hello friends. It gives me extreme pleasure to share with you my thoughts today on the various career opportunities that exist in the field of retail. Unfortunately, when we think of retail, the first and only thought that crosses our mind is that of a salesperson who is standing behind a counter, or maybe somebody who is out there in the field making sales calls. My friends, this is not retail. Retail actually is a subset of the entire field of hospitality, what my earlier friend Vincent spoke about. Tourism is one subset of hospitality, retail is exactly another subset of the same field. You need the same type of skills, you need the same type of aptitude and attitude to be successful in the retail industry. So let's go ahead and let me show you a few of the classifications that are available to you in the retail field. What exactly is retail? So retail depends on department stores, jewelry stores, discount stores, supermarkets, electronics, furniture showrooms, kirana stores, automobile showrooms, chemists and druggists, and apparels. What are departmental stores? I think all of us know what departmental stores are all about. Today, they are the perspective, the high street stores. These are what actually appear to us in malls. So when we go to say the Mall de Goa at Porvorim, or we go to Kakula Mall, what you see there are department stores which are all available for each one of us. The next are jewelry stores, and jewelry stores become an integrated part of the retail industry. For example, you know that we have jewelry stores like TBZ, PNG, Manek Gem, Ullas Jewelers. The next are supermarkets and convenience stores. These are the most prominent of the retail stores that we see around us, and these are the stores that all of us visit most often. They are spread over the length and breadth of the city, and there are a number of them all across. Then comes the discount stores. The discount stores are the ones like the $9 to $9 shop. Discount stores are the ones that were like Subiksha earlier. Discount stores are also like the company second stores, where items are sold by company seconds. There are a number of such stores, but these stores should not be mistaken with the discounts that are normally offered in supermarkets or high street stores. The next are apparels and garment stores. I think all of us love to go to these kind of stores during the year or during festive seasons. Chemists and druggists, most popularly known as pharmacists, these are available all across. These are now grown in structure by what we see today as wellness stores. Along with pharmacy items and drugs, these stores are also dealing a lot with FMCG goods and a lot with groceries and household goods. The next one that we see here on our screen today are Kirana shops, and I think all of us are familiar with this. These are all across the street in every nook and corner. We call them the pop and mom stores. They store almost everything that you need. Besides, Kirana stores are also the ones which have an absolute one-to-one personal approach with every one of their customers. We have automobile showrooms. These automobile showrooms are actually what is been the story of the growth of retail in our country and all across the world. We then have electronic showrooms. All kinds of electronic goods such as mobile phones, washing machines, microwaves, everything you need to have under your household. Currently, these showrooms are facing a very strict competition with online marketeers and online players. We now have furniture showrooms. These showrooms are like the CMM Arena, the Damro showroom, the living room. These are places where one can have a touch and feel of the furniture that they wish to buy, and these are now again facing stiff competition from online players like say Pepperfry and Urban Ladder and the rest. This means that retail is not just groceries. Retail is not just salesmanship. It is a vast ecosystem today which affects our day-to-day life. Let us see what retail means in the international and the national scenario. See the number of retail players across the nation. I am sure we are familiar with the number of them. Amazon.com that you see over here, besides being an online player, also has an offline presence by which there is a minimum human interaction. So at the entry and at the time of checkout, you hardly see anybody. It's all controlled by robots, it's controlled by IA, it's controlled by computerized check-in and check-out systems. These would be like say the Home Depot, for instance. These are huge departmental stores. You can literally build your own house from scratch, right from your floorboards to your painting, to your ceilings, to your roofing. Anything and everything is available here, which you just load it onto your trucks, your U-Haul, and you carry them home. This is the scope of what retail entails internationally. In India, you will see a growing chain of players. Reliance is one of the biggest chain of players that currently are in retail, and they are in all fields. They are in technical fields, in electronics, in groceries. Avenue supermarkets that you see over there, we know them popularly as the D-Mart stores. These are across the length and breadth of the country. So what happens is, on the global market estimate of 2022, we see that nearly 25% of the same of global sale is coming from online players. Now what is happening in Goa? Let's go back and see what the retail scenario that happens in Goa. We've got a few names that have been put up here. So we have in furniture, in department stores, in supermarkets, in automobiles, jewelry stores and apparels. These are the ones that are making a mark in Goa, and all of them, all these stores have tremendous amount of job opportunities for each one of us. So when we say retail is growing and there are job opportunities, why do we say these things? A, you realize the middle class consumers are growing. You see today even the labor class has got one of the most fanciful of handsets and mobile phones. B, the line between the rural and urban markets is very much thinned. Today, the FMCG companies are now concentrating more on rural markets, because that is where the business is growing, that is where aspirational values are growing, and that is where people are moving towards. C, you will see large entry of corporate players and foreign retailers coming into the field. Examples are from the corporate sector. You see Reliance, which is in petrochemicals, which is in fiber, which is in a lot many hard infrastructure projects have now come into groceries. You see Aditya Birla Group. Again, Aditya Birla Group has come down with the whole rate of their more chain of groups. From the foreign retailers, you see people like Walmart who have come into India. You see people like Metro. You see stores like Marks and Spencers, which have established their presence in the country. You see IKEA, for instance, one of the biggest stores has been put up in Chennai. So this actually, my friends, opens up a huge plethora of opportunities in the retail sector. IT again plays a very important role in the growth of retail. Right from tagging of a product, from the time it is sourced or farmed till the time it reaches the consumer, traceability has become a huge aspect, and all this has been happening because of the growth of IT in retail. And then finally, disposable incomes. Everybody wants to migrate from a cycle to a bike, from a bike to a motor car, and this aspirational value and the disposable income that remains with a person is what drives the retail story. What are the job opportunities that are available? These are a list of job opportunities that you see on the screen. So the point I am trying to make, my dear friends, is don't consider retail as a salesman job. Retail consists of anything and everything that you need to be a successful person in the industry. So retail store operations and overall management is one of the factors. The most important factor, I think, as in hospitality, is your customer service executives, your sales professionals. How is it that you market one, yourself, how you market your company, and then finally how you market your product. Distribution, back office tasks, these are extremely important because a lot of stores and inventory management happens at the back office. Logistics, supply chain is one of these critical factors which affect the retail industry. Housekeeping and hygiene, of course, your stores have to be spick and span. You have to have very courteous people. You have to have your staff which is pleasantly dressed. These are the most important factors, housekeeping and hygiene. And remember, when you deal with food, for instance, in retail, you are under the look of the FDA, the FSSAI. These are the people who keep a constant watch on making sure that all the procedures, all the processes are maintained correctly. So again, like how Vincent mentioned earlier, communication skills, one of the most important aspects when you are in a retail thing. Entrepreneurial skills. If you see a lot of successful retailers have been entrepreneurs in their own time and place. And then there are green skills. Retail is moving towards a green environment. So packaging is becoming green. The kind of billing patterns you have are becoming green. Use of less paper, use of less plastic. These are all the opportunities that are today existing for us in the retail sector. Where do I seek a career? One of the most important questions. The government of Goa has set up a model career center. This model career center is an opportunity for each one of you to find out which is the best option for you to get into retail. You do not have to go to employment exchanges wherein you would be stuck with say a government job, but a model career center is one of the most important centers. Please take down their addresses and make sure that you follow and apply to the MCC. The other option is the government has set up a PSS, Central Institute of Vocational Education in Bhopal, and most of our curriculum here in Goan colleges, schools are today following this PSS CIVE curriculum, in which you have job roles that are there for 9th and 10th in store operations assistant and cashier, in 11th and 12th in sales performance, seller activation, trainer associates and sales associates. So if you see the type of opportunities that are there, there are tremendous amount of opportunities. And like I said, where do you fit in? You fit into any one of these. You can get into IT, ITES management, managed networks, cloud servers. You can get into accounting and MIS reporting. You can get into supply chain logistics. You don't need a degree to get a job. The idea here is, if you see the history of people who have grown big in retail, they don't have a huge academic qualification as a background. But the thing is, you need passion to learn. You need to have that spark to grow. The retail industry will do the rest for you. So there are a few success stories. Radhakrishna Damani of DMart, if you see, one of the richest and the most successful of all entrepreneurs, he has set up DMart in India, becoming the 18th most valuable company, and he's the second richest man after Mukesh Ambani, who is next. Radhakrishna Damani just left his schooling halfway, his college halfway, and today he is in a position where he owns the DMart chain of stores. Mukesh Ambani, of course, he had a family background to follow. He did a great job, came down into retail, and he was not even born in India. He was born in Yemen, right? B.S. Nagesh, a person who started the first Shoppers Stop, one of the first department stores, and today he is more into public safety, public environment, the general environment, and also a chairman of Shoppers Stop. Pushkara Chennai of Lakme, he is the CEO today of Lakme. Abhijit Mitra of Chroma and Anita Dogre of End. I've just taken a few casual names. There are hundreds of them more where there are success stories. But these are the people who have made it big in their own time. And internationally, nationally, if you see, nothing to beat our own Kishore Biani. Despite all that has happened to him in his past, Kishore Biani is a person who decided that retail is not just an industry or a business. Retail is an art and retail is a science. And he has started with the Future Group and he has made a complete success of the Future Group. The same thing is with Sam Walton, who is the one who is the founder of Walmart. Then came the Golden Arches of McDonald's. Ray Kroc, he is the person who bought over in 1955, the first McDonald's was set. And today, that was, I think, before most of us were even born. But today again, McDonald's still exists. The Golden Arches are one of the most prominent features in every city and every state. And then of course Jeff Bezos, who started Amazon just as a bookstore, and today he's made a multi-billion-dollar business out of it. So what is the way forward, my dear friends? Is retail going to grow or is it dead? Retail isn't dead. Retail is on a survival and retail is on a recovery path, because in the present environment of the pandemic, you will realize that retail is the only industry which will grow. So from 4.4% average growth, it has gone to 6.7% and then 10.5% in the peak of the pandemic wave. Of course, a major part of this has come through online retailing. People couldn't go to physical stores, so they have bought online retailing. People had to sit at home, so they bought more mobile phones. People had to study from home, so they bought more laptops. But the end of the day, retail is the way forward. So my dear friends, remember, learn the science of retail and turn your life around. There are so many stories of folks who have had no formal education but have been immensely successful just by their sheer hard work and the passion to grow. You can be one of them too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirit, for sharing your valuable and detailed insights and also some of the success stories which will emulate our students about the retail industry. Undoubtedly, our students have been able to gather a lot of information. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, our showstopper for the day is indeed the one who makes our events and occasions very memorable for many. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. This is the best way to describe Mr. Francis Serrao, the founder and spearhead of Crosscraft Events Private Limited. With over 2 decades of experience in the event management industry, he started off his business when event management was not even highly visible or a viable career option. But today, event management is one of the most creative career one can have. With more than 25 years now and being front runners in the industry, Crosscraft today is a titan in its own right. Crosscraft has delivered several national and international events over the years, positioning them as the front runners nationally and globally in the events, wedding and cruising industry. Presenting before you our last speaker for the evening, Mr. Francis Serrao.
To all the viewers, Poonam, thank you. I especially thank the CM and the CMO office for giving me the opportunity, and my colleagues Vincent Ramos and Mr. Maganlal for being a part of this career opportunities to our Goan youth. It's been such a fantastic journey to me, and it's been so lovely for me to share the rise of our event industry. The event industry is expected to grow and cross 10,000 crores by 2021 in India. This is reported by EY in collaboration with EMA. To the people and to the youth, finding a job, making a career, everyone looks forward for it. But in the business of event, it is where you work with what you love to work with. Events is a whole soul of entertainment, performance, music, creativity, dance, which comes into form of live concerts, meetings and conferences, festival, social events. And in the social events, the most important part of the social event remains the weddings that are celebrated in our state of Goa and in a country like India. I get to events into 4 or 5 verticals where it all begins with. To any event, the soul, the background, the backbone of it remains the technicals of the events, which begins with sound, lights, visuals, and the rigging. Well, rigging could be just a new entrance to the whole dynamics of the event technicals. But we'll go to that. In how do we have, as a young youth who has today come from his school, 12th standard, college, or any course that he has done, how does he get into? The main subject is to understand that, yes, we don't have in the state or many in India schools or courses that completely guides you to get into the event industry. But let's begin with where we could start with. Come to the opportunities in the technicals with the sound. You begin into the sound from any degree, from any profession, from any diploma that you hold in. You come into the equipment handling. You get into inventory management of it. You come to the maintenance. While you start from the step 1 to 3, you become to know and you get to know the equipment, the material, the connectivity, and what is the purpose that you use it. You get into the logistic of it. You get to the setup management of it. You get to understand and to create the right sound that need to come out of it, and then you engineer the entire space of the sound. As you do it in the sound, you have the similar steps to get into the lighting division that begins very humbly again to participate. Well, you don't need to be an engineer into or an electronic degree into getting into the technicals of an event. Basic knowledge, hands-on work, and there is where you grow. We go to the third part of the technicals is the audio visual, the visuals of it. Today, this profession and this career has gone very big. 5 years down, 10 years down the line, this was not visible to us. Our youth were not able to know it. But today, with the compatibility of the software imparting into the digital world, into electronics, from projection to LED, to MI bars, and creating a beautiful space where the event technicals are concerned. We go next, the rigging. This is where we see the world. This is where we get excited. This is where we say the wow. This is where you said, how did it happen? But there is a huge workforce. There is a huge calculation. Well, it all gets into a board of mathematics as well. However, it also gets a lot of hands in experience to put up into a technical world, into the field of events. I come to, in event technicals, you have a power hire. Not very small, it is growing very, very big. You start from, again from handling of the generators, connecting and giving the live source for the event to just click and start the shows. Beautiful. This comes the passion. This comes to every small one and the big one. The small mind, the big mind, the creative, the hardworking, the one who is tall in his mind to understand where he wants to go, one he wants to remain into his own space and do something, and from every field of any talent that you have, you come into the field of deco and design sets. Understand, from a casual labor to a carpenter, to a painter, to a tailor, to a welder, fabricator, florist, and a designer, everyone got into this space. This is creating the experience. This is creating the wow. This has to come together. And for everyone, we have a space. And you can start very, very small. And from any small thing, you come to this beautiful world of what you see around today. While you have something and you want to invest, while into the event space, support them, at the same time earn your revenue and money, and you want to do it from small to big, the rental is a big thing in the event industry today. Renting from tableware, furniture, tenting, cooling system, lighting, prop hiring, linen, and you could name it. Everything got so much of requirement of what you see around today to come into the event space, and you have a career to make into this. Education, yes. Dedication, yes. But it is available for you within the boundaries of Goa, within the boundaries of events and our hospitality industry. Look at this. From the display that you see, from the one that you pick up from your garden, and you feel, I have the knack, I have that little style. Today, you grow up into doing this as your business. You grow up doing this as a team leader. You grow up this by doing that as an individual. So, from starting of your own, doing a lot of to the holy homes of temples and churches, coming to a small boutique shop, to giving it online, getting into the resorts, hotels, celebration, birthdays, parties is all that you can branch out. You can make a beautiful career from the little that you love and the little that you like to grow with. Cinematography and photography. Let me give you an example. From a cameraman today to a profession like this. If you look around and see this profession is grown today, one of the few companies in the top list charges for a setup of videography and photography for a 3 days event, nothing less than 25 to 30 lakhs of rupees. Well, started very on a low scale. Today, companies in Goa with a small team of a crew between 6 to 10 people are making careers in this profession. So a cameraman has a space in this, a light handler has a space in this, and you can begin with anybody. You have amazing courses that are available in Goa for short duration with different institutes which are available in Goa, couple of them, but on-job training is something which is very essential. So enter into any one of the business houses who are into this and from there you can branch out on your own. And for this, you have job opportunities. The cinematography and photography is being hired in events, fashion, social gathering. And you start from a bottom line, from a camera operator to a shoot and art director, drone operator, video designer, you are an editor, you got the whole circle of space to work within the talent that you have. Special effects, the wow of every function, the crescendo of every function. We would call him Patakawara, but today they have gained an amazing title to this work that they are doing. Fireworks, the special effects, the pyrotechnics are become a must for any global event, local event, and celebration. It's a big vertical where you can just learn it traditionally to go to the extent of designing and execution. All these things are easily available on software. All these things are easily available into a design form and platforms. So anything that is required in this is easily available. You might find there is a lot of things that you would not have access to. Please contact us. All these things are accessible and everything can be provided and purchased or hired to get into doing a service under this vertical. Well, artist management. You have a knack to manage something. You have a sales background, or you know you have a knack to communicate with people. But look at the lot of talents that are lying around you. They are so amazing. They do so many different act, craft, performance. You need to put this together. They on their own are not able to do so. So you need somebody to manage them. And it could manage into very small. Managing of just the guy who does beautiful balloon sculpturing. Managing a guy who does a simple rangoli at a Diwali or any festival. And you say, you are so great. How do you pick them up? You have someone at your background, very talented, playing a violin. You pick them up. You bring them into a showcase. You guide them. You motivate them. And you market them. That's all that you do into artist management. So anything that has a different flair, anything that is looking more great than ordinary, and somebody has the art, we need to manage them. And in this management, you have a talent acquisition, and you go to a reality show, you go to a talent show, you go the best Goa singers, you got best dance performance. Here is where you go and acquire them. You do the meeting them, you get to sharing them. Then you have entertainment, like live bands. You have people who are performing into certain acts. Please coordinate with them and you can be one of the artist managers into the event industry. Now, this is for the individual. This is for someone who says, I can do it. This is me. I am good at it. From a simple tricks from a hat to become an illusionist, to someone who could make you laugh all the time, get into being a stand-up comedian, to someone who can do a good mind reading. There you are a card reader. I love to dance, but just not for myself, but I can perform for you. You could be one of the best dancer. You can fly up on a good rigging system and you have done it with hours of practice. There is where you go. Simply playing a drum or a dole, you can be a part of a huge celebration. The live music, which Goa is completely famous for. The MCs, the individual singers, the musician getting two of them together and doing a mariachi, a calypso, a Latino, salsa, and of course the DJs who are in the fame of the event industry today. We go for a few examples. I would like to share with you someone like Edmondo the Cunha, a young lad. I know him for last 20 years, started very humbly and doing few tricks. And what are they? Very simple, very cards and the coins and the heads. With tremendous hard work, dedication, from a fee of 500 rupees, Edmondo is gone international fame, doing the world best illusions and become one of the top rated illusionists in our country and in the state of Goa. Proud of him for where he is there today. I'm sure you all have read about Wendell Gray yesterday in the news, and this is where I want to put him up here. Great guy. Again, a simple beginning with doing timetable shows in the resorts, and today Wendell is a celebrity fire performer. Great guys to them. Viddas is one example to y'all from where a local guy can get into a stage and a celebrity comedian. Choreography. Well, I know to dance, but I can teach as well. Everyone cannot do the same. But this is something very special. It's not only teach, but put it together and then make it a larger platform, make it a larger show and bring it to the best of anyone who needs the support into his performance or to give it to one as an entertainment. And if you are a choreographer, look at the beginning that you start with. You have a showrunner, you are a backup dancer, you do the editing of the music, you do the stage layout and design, you have a makeover artist, you have special effect manager. This all work is required to make a choreographer and a choreography performance a big success. So while you are into different fields, everyone is required in each other's field to make any performance a success. But job opportunities for a choreographer, you're into special appearance of the artist where you participate, wedding and Sangeet choreography, concert and live show choreography, award show choreography, fashion and ramp walk. Wedding support services, something which is very simple. But look at the demand, look at the requirement today. It is growing huge. It is growing 10 and 10-fold. Remember the times we had one vintage car for a wedding in the state of Goa. Today we have more than 20. It has become a professional vertical of providing service of carriage vendor. Look at the Godi that is required. Look at the logistic support that is required. Look at the on-site vanity events that is required. So many of these pop-ups have just begun in this industry. More wedding support services, Mehndi Wali, what you would have done is home. A sari draper, imagine today this profession is become as small and as big that you could think of. A sari drapist is even charging ₹1,00,000 today for a day's service of sari draping into weddings. Gifting and packaging, again, huge requirement in the events and the wedding industry. Maybe it is a conference, maybe it is a convention, maybe it is a wedding, you need gifting. What we call it the favors of the guests coming in and they're going back. The turban is also part of the wedding industry and more to go. This is where we all touch and we call them cooks, we call them caterers, we call them so many different things. But these are become today professions. Today, from a cook, you have become a designer, you have become a food specialist, you have become a food stylist, you have become a food curators. You make the magic. It's only not into the taste, but the display and the presentation. So you got a huge range of where you can participate. Not only that you have to work in the hotel industry, but you could be outsourced. You could be coming in as a cake designer. You would be coming as a support service to the hotel or any industry when the requirement is more than what they themselves can display, and something special which is not within their table available. This is what they would like to be brought out to make the event much more better. Again, how you design, how you display, from home cook to a food curator. Food curators, these are like something which you see into display today. Hair and makeup. My God. Doing a bridal makeup into an Indian wedding domain, it's a big celebrity name for you. Come and see the work that people would do. Look at the remuneration. Look at the life that you would have. The work would be just 3 hours, but you got all on your platter, from a business class ticket to a 5-star room to the food that you want. This is where you go when you become from a simple hairdresser to a hairstylist, from a simple makeup to a makeup stylist. Wow, everybody loves this. Bartending. We thought it was a measure that we would have to pour. 30 ml, 60 ml, 90 ml. Today it's no more. Today it's how you pour, the experience that you would give, the blending that you would do individually to what the guest in front of you likes it. The attraction that you are giving to every display and every drink that you are making. This is the world. From a simple bartending, juggling the bottle, making the drink, understanding the garnishing, making the presentation, talking to the guests, connecting to their side of taste buds. This is amazing. And you got specialists in them. Their career is again highly paid remunerations. Safety and security. Nothing can go well. We know we need it to be tied down. We know it has to be chained. We know it has to be controlled. So loss prevention, security, access control, and the health and safety of the people. This is again another vertical. And what are the jobs that they offer you? You're a security guard, you're a loss prevention control manager, you need bodyguards there, you need a hygiene manager, you need control systems, you need IT people, security camera, installations, and so on. Well, your event could be stopped just as you are about to start. If you don't have the right permissions and licenses with you. So you need somebody as a legal advisor. But is it all written in a book that you can follow? No. It is all to be day-to-day updated. This is where every day you get to understand, take the decisions rightly for your client. So you become an expert. You could be from a background of a law. You could be from a background of events. You could be background from a hospitality industry. That is where you start participating, learning, and making this as your own vertical or profession. Look at the integrated marketing in the event industry. Look at that platform. Look at how much of employment they are giving to all the people who are internet bound, from companies like Wedding Good, Event FAQs, Wedding Sutra, to name them. All them are providing job spaces in events. To the young youth, nothing is all possible without an event management company. And everyone is hired back and given back from here in a division. Why do I call myself crosscraft? Because we cross our path and give support to each other. Any vertical that I presented to you earlier, from the sound technicals, from the lights, from the audio visuals, to the special effects, to the hairdresser, to the set designer, we need to manage them. It has to be put into a fold. Of course, you can work individually. You can do a beginning from an individual to your own vertical or your own enterprise. But here is the event management which brings you all together, where you need every person. So if you are a good sound engineer, you are hired even by the event company, that you take care of their requirement. If you are a graphic designer, you start beginning with the set. So you have the whole world with you where event is concerned. I would not summarize without mentioning it to you. Carriers are lying on our streets. Carriers are lying in our neighborhood. We don't need to step out of our beautiful, well-respected state of Goa. You have all this to make your own money. From the little as an individual to a little as a group, from a single to a duo to a trio to a four, and making it as an organization and a firm and a corporation. This can be all done here. I have grown all among this. I've enjoyed the best of my life only because I was a part of the event industry. So you see, it's a hard work. It's a dedication. You need to stand by it. You need to work for it. You need to celebrate it. It does not just come for it. But in this entire journey, as you do this, you will see the globe. You will see everything that others might not get an opportunity to see, to eat, to feel, and to enjoy it. When you do your best, nobody stops you. You become a part of every celebration. People acknowledge your efforts. They bring you to the platform of the table that they dine, the dance floor that they dance, the bar that they drink. You become a part of them from every space. And while you do all this, you are definitely making money. And that is here, and the one that you enjoyed. So if you like this as a passion, and this is what you want to go in, please understand you will earn $1 billion revenue without having one day that you have worked. Every day you enjoy while you earn for yourself. So from a smallest beginning, from if you are 10th pass, if you are 10th fail, if you are 11th pass, you are 12th fail, you are a graduate, you are an MBA, you have a degree, everyone has a space here. And the space is the most enjoyable space. So please come, be there, and be a part of the celebration of the event industry. Youth, you are welcome. And I would look forward that any point of time, we would like to hold your hand for your path and your career. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sawant, for such a warm welcome to that industry. Thank you once again for sharing the opportunities available in this exciting world. Go ahead, students, and grab them. Friends, on the screen, you will see the email ID and also a Google form, which will also be available on the CMO Goa YouTube channel. Fill up that form. If you have any queries related to the careers that you've just heard about, you can write those queries into the Google form and direct it to the speakers. The speakers have been kind enough to accept the request of the CM office to reply to you all individually. Thank you so much once again. Friends, as we reach the end of this webinar today, we have seen the ample of opportunities available in the hospitality, retail and events industry. Through this initiative by our Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Dr. Pramod Sawant, we hope our viewers have been able to gather some important information about the careers said in the said industries. On behalf of the Chief Minister's Office and the Directorate of Sports and Youth Affairs, I would like to thank Mr. Vincent Ramos, Mr. Kirit Maganlal and Mr. Francis Sawant for sharing their wisdom and enlightening our friends. Our speakers have put together a lot of efforts to share the knowledge with all of us about the industry, and what I gather is that we can find our way in there if we just follow our passion, and our passion we can turn it into our profession. Such an exciting world. I would like to thank all the students, parents, teachers and all our viewers for joining us in this webinar. For anyone who has missed this webinar, please spread a word that this program will be available on the CMO Goa YouTube channel as well as the Facebook channel. Once again, thank you very much, and Dev bare kuru.